All right. If you're joining this class at a later date or time, we are going to be using weights. I have just little 2-pounders with me here. If you want to have those close by your mat for when we lay down. But we are going to get started just standing. Feet a little bit wider than hip width distance. Arms down by the sides. Let's just take a moment to check in. Shoulders connecting down to the back. Ribs and belly tighten. Glutes slightly squeezing. Let's just inhale those arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, lower them down. Inhale, we're going to take a tiny bit of an extension looking up. Exhale, a little bit of a flex forward looking down at those feet. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, lower down. One more. Inhale up. Exhale down. And we're going to add a nice little squat with that. Same arms. Inhale those arms overhead as we sit back. Exhale, sit tall. Nice deep squat there. However low you want to go. You can make that smaller if you need to. One more like that. And then on this next one, we're going to open the arms out to the side, doing a little bit of a chest expansion. And then pull back in. Open it up and pull back in. Hey, how you doing?
Good. Sorry.
Make sure I can see you.
I have to go put on the right clothes, but I wanted to get in here at least.
No worries. All right.
So keep going and I'll be right back.
No worries. I'm just going to mute you real fast. Make sure it's not going to switch over. All right. So still squatting down, big T arms as we stand. Squatting down, big T arms as we stand. The last one, nice T arms. We're going to bring those hands in front of us. Turn yourself to face towards one end of your mat. Feet are staggered still. They're right where they're at, but now they're both pointing towards the end of your mat. Just come up onto those tippy toes and lower back down. Lifting up towards the ceiling through the crown of the head, through the belly, through the spine. Trying not to roll out to those pinky toes because that's not a supported position for us to be in. Shoulders still belong to the back. Let's do 3 more like that. Trying to stay even on both feet. Going between them. And then lowering down, we're just going to rotate back into the center and then face the opposite end. Same thing, lower and lift here. And you can walk those feet a little closer together if you need that support. Still breathing evenly as we get started. Not forgetting about the ribs and the belly, staying tight here, and the hips staying even. We've got 4 more there. 3, 2, last one, coming down. Rotate back to face me. Reach those arms up towards the ceiling. We're going to side bend over to the right. Start rotating your body down towards the ground, reaching out and away. And then we'll drop towards those feet, coming through center and up the other side. One more that direction. Side bend to start. Rotate towards the ground and then dropping it down. Opposite direction. Side bend to start. Find that rotation, reaching out and then drop the body down. Toe to toe. Up the other side. One more. Side bend. Rotate, reach. And then drop toe to toe all the way back up. Go ahead and just step to one end of your mat so we can reach those hands up. And we'll just roll straight down on that exhale, scooping the belly in tight. Bend the knees, and we're going to sit down on our mats. All right, make sure you can see me. We're going to start inhaling those arms up towards the ceiling. So I want you to make sure we're pressing into those sit bones evenly onto our mat. Shoulders are still connecting to the back, not coming up into the ears. If you have a healthy spine, we're going to articulate. If not, give me that hinge. On your exhale, scooping the tailbone under, sucking the belly in. Reach those arms forward as we come down. And then inhale, nice and tall, arms to the ceiling. Exhale, curling back. We'll go a little bit faster now. Inhale, sitting tall. Exhale, curling back. Inhale, sitting tall. 3 more like that. Watch those knees aren't starting to press apart as we lower down. Use those inner thighs a little bit to keep them in line with the ankles and hips. Hold it down there for me now. Take one hand up towards the ceiling, back down, opposite hand to the ceiling. Back down, breathing while we're here, and keeping that belly scooping deep. One more set there. Hands and coming forward. We're gonna sit tall, arms coming tall. Exhale, curl back one more time, and here both arms, if you can, bring them up towards the ceiling, lowering it down. Find that tremble up there. 2 more like that. Last one. And then we're going to sit it up nice and tall. Arms to the ceiling. Reach those legs out long in front of you. Exhale, nod the chin, rolling forward. We're going to find that stretch forward first. Make sure you're not dropping down to the thighs. Keeping lifted up. Exhale, roll the tailbone back. Still staying in that C curve. As we roll back, we're going to bring that right knee in. And then sit tall. Reach that leg back out. Let's take those arms to the ceiling as we sit tall again. Exhale, rolling back. Take that left knee from me. And then sit it tall. Now, can we take both knees in as we roll all the way down to the mat? Let's reach those hands up to the ceiling, all the way over our head. Inhale, nod the chest, the head, and then exhale, reach the legs out, roll it all the way up. We're gonna repeat that going a little bit faster. So we're gonna roll back, right knee coming in, and then reach back out. Exhale, left knee coming in, and reach back out. Both knees are gonna come in now, both arms going overhead. Exhale, lifting up, and then exhale again as we reach those legs, scoop in the belly, sit tall. Rolling back, one knee comes in, sit it tall. Opposite knee in, sit it tall. And then start bringing both knees in as we control back overhead with the arms. Reach the arms up, inhale, head, chest, lift. Exhale, the rest of the body comes forward. One more set like that. One knee in, and sit tall. Opposite knee in, sit tall. Both knees coming in as we roll down, hands over the head. Reach those legs out as we come up. And on this last one, we're gonna keep the legs straight. We need to scoot a little bit, and then roll just all the way down onto your mat. We're gonna take those hands behind your head, elbows wide, just let the head rest for right now. Bend your left knee so you can plant that foot on the ground. Right leg, we're just gonna lift it about halfway up that left shin. You can take it higher if you need that support. And then just give me some nice little circles. Maybe it's a teacup, maybe it's a dinner plate, but we're watching that left knee doesn't get to wobble. The hips don't get to wobble, rib cage is staying still. Reverse, take that the opposite direction. Breathing over here, really start to feel that inner thigh pulling the leg towards the opposite one. And then pause with that leg staying lifted and outreached. Exhale, lift the head and chest. We're gonna inhale to pause, and then pull that right knee towards you. Take your left elbow towards it for crisscross, and reach it back out, staying lifted with the head and chest if you can. Go down as soon as you need to, and we're gonna continue bringing that knee in, trying to peel the left shoulder blade completely off to the tip of our mat. 4 more like that. And 3. Use that breath. 2. Last one. Reaching that leg out. Take it straight to the ceiling. Keep your chest lift for me if you can. Reach your left leg straight out, hovering off your mat for scissors. And we're going to switch and switch and switch and switch. Breathing here. Feel the belly pulling the thigh and the leg towards you. Not just those legs kicking in the air. 3 more sets like that. Last one. Let that left leg stay to the ceiling. Right foot's gonna find the ground. We're gonna lower the head and chest back down. Lower that leg down. About halfway down the right shin now. We're going for those circles. Little baby circle right there. Again, maybe it's a teacup, maybe it's a dinner plate, but we're only making it as large as we can keep the rest of the body still. And then let's reverse that, opposite direction. Feel those obliques pulling in towards the midline, like you're cinching your waist in. Last one like that. And we're gonna add on our crisscross. Inhale the head and chest up. Exhale, pull that knee in. Right elbow to the knee. and come back center. Go on for that crisscross there. Try not to press the hands into the head, but keep your head pressing back into the hands. Using that exhale to cinch the waist that much tighter, rib cage pulling in towards the midline as well. 3 more there. And 2. Last one, coming center. We're gonna go for those scissors again. Left leg goes straight to the ceiling. Right leg reaches out, hovering off the mat, and just switch those legs. Switch, 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 switch. 5 more sets like that. 4, going a little bit for flexibility here, so you can make those as big as you'd like. Last set. And then both knees are gonna come into the chest. Hug those knees. Rock side to side for a pause. Taking the feet back onto the ground. Go ahead, grab your weights. Hopefully they're nearby, whichever size you'd like to use. The feet can stay down on the ground, or you can bring those legs up into tabletop. We're gonna do something just like our supine arm series we do on the reformer. So bringing those arms up to the ceiling, allow those weights to help your shoulders plug into the mat a little bit. The rib cage sticky on your mat as well, so we're not arching off of that. We're gonna take those arms straight down to the hips, not touching the ground. Rotate the palms towards your body, open out to a big T, and then bring it back up to the ceiling. So we're just going for those circles. Rotate the palms back towards each other before you come down to the hips. And then opening out and back to the ceiling. We're going down. Out. 2 more like that. Going down, T to the ceiling. Last one there. To the ceiling, and we'll reverse that. Take it out to your T, to the hips, to the ceiling. And you can add on to this just like we do in our supine arms on the reformer. Maybe add that chest lift as we reach to the hips, or add those legs extending out. Let's do 1 more set if you want to add on to that. And then come back to the ceiling. Let the elbows drop wide out to the sides, and then press straight up to the ceiling. So just like you would be pulling your arms back into a high row, or if you were punching, find those shoulders staying put though, back onto your mat. They don't get to come up to the ceiling with the rest of the arm. 3 more like that. You can extend those legs for more effort. Last one, let that come down. We're gonna put those weights to the side, return your feet to the mat, and have your heels together, toes apart, Pilates V. We're gonna go into some bridging, so if you need to have that back flat and hinge, make sure you do that. If you have a healthy spine, let's articulate. On that exhale, peel the tailbone off, bone by bone, rolling up to the tips of the shoulder blades, opening up the chest, looking straight up and relaxing the neck. Reach the knees across the room, away from you, and then melt it down, bone by bone. 2 more just like that. Exhale, peeling off. Find that control, lifting evenly on both sides of the body. The bottom ribs pulling towards the hips and melting it down. On this 3rd one, let's hold it up there. Exhale, peel it off, meet me up there. We have those heels together, toes apart. Squeeze your knees like you have a ball between those thighs. Just a little inch in, release. Little squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. Feel like you can get those hips just a little bit higher every time you squeeze those knees towards each other. Let's go for 5 more like that. Breathing still. Make sure we're not tensing up in the neck and shoulders. And then releasing that, melt it down, bone by bone. Separate the heels so that we're hip width distance and parallel. We're gonna stick with that articulation on your exhale, peeling off bone by bone, lifting up. And then right here, we're gonna go for a little march, taking that, just 1 leg up into tabletop, back down onto the mat, and then continue to alternate those legs. And as we switch side to side, we're just watching those hips don't get to tip with us. Use those obliques pulling in towards the midline. Lengthen through the crown of the head. We've got 2 more sets like that. Last one. Bring those feet back onto the mat, even with each other, and let's melt it down, bone by bone. Hug those knees to your chest one more time. Let's rock it side to side. A little bit of a spine massage. And then from here, 2 options. We're either gonna rock up to sitting or roll up to sitting. So if you want it to be challenging, just reach those legs straight out, arms to the ceiling, just like we did before on that exhale. Nodding the chin, rolling all the way up tall. All right, and we're gonna come over now onto our bellies or quadruped. And let me pull up my pants real fast before I flash you. All right, so we're gonna be on our forearms to start here. And this is a little bit more of that back work, core work, and also a little bit of balance. Your knees aren't gonna be directly underneath your hips, so you can let them be a little bit farther out, almost like you're in a semi-plank. Ribs and belly tight. We're gonna start taking one arm up to the ceiling as much as you can, rotating, and then come back down. Opposite arm, rotate up, and come back down. And continue just to alternate right there to start using your belly, not only to rotate, but also to keep your balance so we're not just falling off to the side. Last set, even it out side to side. Oh, my shoulders are not happy with me today. And then sit back in your shell stretch for a moment. Taking a breath. We're gonna come all the way up on hands and knees now. Another little bit of a balance, back work, core work stretch here. Toes tucked under. We're gonna start by picking the hips up into a downward dog. Reach your left hand towards your right ankle. Bring it back onto your mat and lower the knees. So we're gonna repeat that on the other side. Lifting up, right hand to left ankle. Center, knees down. Continue to alternate with that. And you can go as fast or as slow as you'd like. This is also a nice little shoulder stretch when you press up into that downward dog. So use that moment there. We're gonna go for one more set after this one, finishing out side to side. Even out there. And come back center and down. Sit back on those hips again. Taking that pause. And then coming up strong. All right. So this is another one. I'm going to give you a couple different variations you can do. First one, we can be back on those elbows for our donkey kick and just reaching that leg straight out behind us. That's going to be our movement. If you want it more challenging, coming up onto those hands and knees, give me your plank position to start. We're going to take that right foot off the mat, press into that downward dog position just a little bit, reaching that leg up and out. And then as you come forward, bringing it in, round in towards that knee, using the belly to crunch it. Reach it out and away. And then coming forward, crunch it in. Reach it out. Extend. Forward, pull the knee in. 2 more like that. Pull it in. Make sure you're breathing. And then press that foot back, knees down. Sit back for a moment, take that breath. And we'll repeat the other side. Coming forward, stepping out. That leg reaches away. Point, reach, 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 pressing back. And then pull it forward, in with the belly. Reach it up and away. And in. Pull with the belly. Reach. Press. And keep the glutes squeezing as you reach that leg up and away. Like that thigh bone lifting up is what's pressing your upper body down. 2 more there. And last one. Step it back again. This time we're going to take some little flamingo arms up towards the ceiling and out to the side. All right. Last variation we're going to do here. Hands and knees. Last time, I promise. Reach your right leg out and your left arm forward. With this one, if you need it nicer, You can just do one at the time, maybe just the arm first and then the leg. We're gonna do 8 sets of each. So you can do 4 with the arm, 4 with the leg. But both the arm and the leg that we have reaching out are gonna go away from our midline, tap onto the mat, rainbow them across the body. Rainbow away, and rainbow towards the midline. Keeping those hips as still as we can. That's 4, so if you need to switch, go ahead and switch. 3 more here. Ribs and belly pulling away from the mat. Shoulders belong to the back. Last one. All right, coming center. Opposite leg reaches out, opposite arm, maybe just one or the other. And then open out to the sides and cross. That's 1. Again, trying to stay centered with the torso. This is our 4th one. Go ahead and switch if you have just the arm or the leg. Squeezing those glutes to lift that leg up and away. All right, let's just do one more because I forgot whether or not that was 3rd or 4th. And coming center, we're gonna sit back, relax. Take that breath, grab a little water if you need it. And we're gonna come side lying next. Just like before, there's a couple options here. If you want to be all the way down on the mat and have your head down, you can, bottom leg bent, or a little bit more challenging, we'll come on that forearm. Keeping the ribs, cage lifted, the hips lifted, the shoulder, arm pressing down into that mat. Reach your leg up and away. We're gonna just start to lift and lower, lift and lower. And as we reach that leg up and away, watch that that rib cage isn't dropping down. 2 more like that. You can bring that top hand behind your head, let's do that. And then hold it up there. We're gonna bring that knee in, giving ourselves a little crunch to the side now. Reach it out, tap the ground. Lift, in, out, down. Lift, in, out, down. 3 more like that. Try and keep that shoulder pressing down into your mat, not letting ourselves dump into it. Last one there. Reach that leg out. Now just kick it back, back, back. Find that thigh glute connection and that low belly not popping forward. We don't want the spine to change shape with that. 3, 2, 1. Hold it straight out from your hip. Give me those little circle, circle, circle. Press into that mat. Make sure we're not dumping into it. Reverse, opposite direction. 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna press ourselves up with that bottom arm. Bring your top leg, crossing it over the bottom. We'll just hug that nice and tight. Give ourselves a nice little squeeze there. Breathing. And then release that. Leg the opposite direction. Again, either all the way down on the mat, or you can be on that forearm to make it more challenging. Ribs and belly lifted, hips lifted. Bring that leg just straight up, straight down. Lower and lift to start. And then once you feel comfortable, if you want to take that top arm behind the head, go for it. Keeping the shoulders plugged into the back. Feel those back muscles pulling them down and away. 3 more like that. 2, lift it up, and we'll add that little crunch in. Reach, tap, up, in, out, down. 5 more like that. Using that breath. And again, make that leg active. Don't let it just float around. Squeeze through the thigh as you lift, pulling with the belly. Last one. Reaching it out. We're going to just do that little kick back, little kick, kick. You can move that hand if you want to. Watch here again, though, that we're not arching the low back. We got that low belly scooping in tight. 3, 2, 1. Circle, circle, circle. 4 more that direction. Breathing. Opposite direction. Reverse. 4, 3, 2, 1. Press yourself up. Top leg over that bottom leg. Give yourself a nice little hug. Maybe sitting taller, feeling that through the hip, through the glute. And we'll release that. All right, we're gonna come down onto our bellies all the way this time. Starting with a little bit of a hamstring bicep curl. Make sure you can see me here. I'm gonna have my arms out in front of me when I lay down, but the shoulders aren't gonna round into my chest. So we're still pressing them down the back, the rib cage and belly staying tight. Lift those legs off the ground just slightly for me here. Imagine like you're holding weights in these hands. And we're just gonna bring left arm, right leg in, and both release. Opposite arm, opposite leg, release. And while we're alternating, we're keeping the belly button pulled up and away from that mat, rib cage up and away. Thinking about lengthening through the crown of our head, using those glutes and hamstrings to pull the leg in. Last time like that, even out. And we'll do both arms, both legs, pulling in, reaching out. Pulling in, reaching out. 3 more like that. And 2. And 1. Release that for a moment. Let's press back into our child's pose, taking that moment, taking that breath. Grab my water one more time. And then finishing out with our prone series, a little bit of extension. Let's start with the arms reaching out towards our hips, but a little bit out towards the side, wider than the mat. Still finding our same prone setup again. Press the pelvis slightly down, pulling the belly button up so we're in that neutral spine. Go ahead, lift the arms off the mat, have the palms up towards the ceiling. As we lift up into our extension, rotate the palms down towards the ground. And then palms back up as we lower. So as we lift into that extension, keeping the belly button up and lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Finding that shoulder rotation to open up the chest just a little bit more, but also watching that when we lower down and the palms come up to the ceiling, we're not just caving into the chest. We're still keeping that wide expansion that we're finding up in the air. Last 2 like that. Last 1. And lower down. All right. Press yourself back so that we can come to kneeling. And we are gonna grab our weights again. If you need a towel or a mat or anything like that for your knees, go ahead and grab that. You can also just do this whole series sitting back on your heels if you need to. But I'm gonna move my mat just a little bit so I have some arm space. And then kneeling to the side, so I'm not gonna face y'all to start, but just for, you can face me for this one, it doesn't matter where you're facing. We're gonna start with our hug a tree. So I want you to find the same setup we would find if we were in our studio, the shoulders plugging in, ribs and belly tight. Imagine you're holding on to those handles and then squeeze through those armpits and those pecs to bring those hands into a circle and then open out with control. Squeeze those hands together, open out with control. And really try and keep those hands moving in the same plane, like they're between 2 planes of glass. We can't go up or down with the arms. And it's not a big movement. Elbows are staying in front of the body. Last one like that. We're gonna hold that into our circle, taking this into our salute. Bring your hands up towards your forehead. Shoulders are still pulling down and back, ribs and belly are tight. And we're gonna reach those arms up and away, and then resist back in. I want you to imagine we're working with those springs right now. You have those pulleys raising against, and then resist, resist. Press against them. Resist, resist. 3 more like that. Breathing still. Last one. And then let that come in. All right, we're gonna start This one's gonna be a little bit tough on the knees. If you have anything going on, you can sit back on those heels again, but make sure that you have a nice amount of space to sit back. You're not gonna be on wood with your feet because that's not gonna be comfortable. Just starting with a chest expansion though, arms down by our sides. We're gonna just start by reaching those hands back behind us and then resist again, back forward. Opening up the collarbone, but not letting the rib cage flare. Still breathing into that. 2 more like that, and then we'll add on. As those arms come forward now, just bring them all the way up to shoulder height. Keep them there. We're gonna sit back on our heels, trying to create a nice long line as we move back and down. Once you tap down, glutes and hamstrings are gonna fire to bring us up and then press those hands into that expansion again. Hands come forward and up as we sit down. And then squeeze, pressing forward. You should feel those quads working here as well. Front of the thighs. We're gonna go 4 more there. Again, just sit back on those heels or stay on the knees if this bothers your legs at all. Last 3. And 2. Last 1. I think I had 1 more move for us here. I'm gonna turn to face you just so that you can see what's going on. Palms facing towards each other, elbows nice and tight. From here, we're gonna start with our just rotation. Shoulders opening out. Keep that upper arm pulling towards your body there. Just opening and closing the arms to start. Of course, we're still breathing. And then to add on to that, rotate open, reach the arms up and away, pull back in, close it in, open, reach, pull, close, open, reach, pull, close. Last time like that. We're gonna change it up now. Bringing that in, just turn the palms to the ceiling. That's all we're gonna change. Rotate, reach, pull, bring it in. Rotate, reach, pull, bring it in. Watch right now that we're not letting the rib cage or the belly flare forward, keeping them pulled back over the hips. Let's do 2 more sets there. And when those arms reach out, feel the back muscles pulling them back into the, back down as we reach in opposition. And bring that in. All right, go ahead, drop those weights. We're gonna sit back on our heels and stretch out those arms. Starting just with a behind the body, elbow, shoulder, bicep stretch. Reach that arm behind you. I'll turn to just so you can see. Watch that we're not really just pressing into it, but we're just giving it a little bit of assistance. We want to stretch, we don't want to tear. Breathing into that. Release that. We'll take it over to the other side. Opposite arm coming behind us. Gently, gently pressing on it. If it's available, you can even take that opposite arm behind your back and grab the fingers. A little bit of a deeper stretch there. And then releasing that. We're just gonna intertwine those hands behind us and reach for a reverse shoulder stretch. Out and away. Still thinking about the rib cage and the belly. Pulling in so we're not flaring. And then bringing those arms forward. Give yourself a nice little hug. Let the elbows droop down. Flex forward. Take a couple breaths. Just enjoy that. Thanking your body for the work it did today. And we're going to release that. And we are all done. Thank you for joining me today. All right. You have a good one. I will see you next week. Bye.